on now, you can't even do this. Look.
All right, so since you got so many stories, and you're in here right now, and you don't want to do a special, why don't you give us your number one story of all time?
Well, yeah. What's my number one story?
It's really hard. Should he sit here?
Or give us your top 10. I don't care.
What was the subject matter? Hanging out with famous people.
What comes to memory?
Yeah.
What's your most?
I was in Tucson, Arizona. I was dancing the ballet, and then I had an agent, so I got a job as a side job on a TV show called the Young Writers, which is a TV show made after the movie Young Guns.
Okay.
And back in the day, it was a long time ago.
Right.
And so I was just long hair, good cowboy extra, always standing around by the fence and shit. And one day they asked me to be a special extra, and I was in the scene with Josh Brolin when he was 21 years old.
Wow.
And my job was in that show, he was a gunfighter. And in that particular episode, he would fall asleep and have a nightmare, and the ghost of all the gunfighters that he had ever killed came to haunt him, and that was my character. So
Wow.
I was all dressed all in black and a trench coat with two guns.
You're a gun.
And they had like a black cheesecloth over my face because I was a ghost. And then we had to sit there all day on a milk crate with Josh Brolin all day till it got dark. And then I had to go out. They get me all costumed up, and I have to go out behind some bushes. And then they give me a signal, and then he'd be coming out, walking through the desert, like after he woke up, and he'd be running through the desert, and I would step out from behind the bush. I'd be like, "You can run, but you can't hide, Wild Bill." And he'd run the other way, and then there'd be another tree, and then he'd be running the other way, and then all of a sudden I'd step out. You can run, but you can't hide, Wild Bill. And I had two guns and a big trench coat and everything. So, and then
what movie was that? Or did they cut it?
it was a TV show called Young Riders.
Young Riders. Okay.
And then
Young Guns.
and they after the movie Young Guns. And then Johnny Depp was a guest on that show.
Oh, wow.
Back in the day. So we were out in the desert in a van. He's like, and he was like, you know a quiet place we can get a beer? I'm like, yeah, I did. And it was I lived in Tucson. So I told him, let's go to South Tucson. Yes, let's go to South Tucson because I knew this girl I'd have her run my art gallery show. It's a beautiful Italian girl. This is beautiful. And she ran this little dark little bar in South Tucson. So I'm like, let's go there. So we met there, and he comes walking in. He's wearing a gas station shirt. It says like Bob on it. And he and I were the only ones in there. I sat there and talked to Johnny Depp for like 3 hours. And it was like,
Wow.
fucking 110 degrees outside. We were in this dark little bar with my beautiful Italian friend girl serving us beers and tequila. And he's the most normal fucking guy I ever met in my life.
Yeah.
He's a really cool guy. Like I said, that's when he had the long hair down here.
Mm-hmm.
And he was all like, and he had the gas station shirt that said Bob. I thought that was so funny. And I was still in my like Western, I was like a cowboy, you know?
Yeah.
Anyway. So, okay, that's a story.
That's a
Yeah.
cool story.
That is a great story. That's a great story. It's so funny. Like you know, there's so many people in the van today from Tucson, or experiences in Tucson. It's like so random. It's like, and then I was thinking about my ex-wife is from Tucson, and then like all these people have been in the van today from Tucson, and now you wrap it up with this Johnny Depp story from Tucson. It's so interesting.
Tucson, back in the day, dude, in the 80s, Tucson was bang.
Was it?
Yeah, dude. I worked at this sex bar thing, and I met Arnold Schwarzenegger and everybody there.
The sex bar?
Yeah. Because they film movies there in Tucson.
Okay, I see.
And so everybody, when you came to Tucson, you came to this place called, it was called Someplace Else, and you can look it up on the internet. And we had the duty hut and everything.
Is it a strip?
No. Do you want me to tell you another story?
Yeah, please.
Sex.
Well,
That's fine.
No, we want to hear stories. Let them talk. Let them talk.
Sex bar has to be covered.
Well, he's going to tell the sex bar story right now.
there was a bar in Tucson called Someplace Else.
Mm-hmm.
And it was run by a guy who he came from I can't remember the name of the soda pop in Rochester, New York. So anyway, he's a rich kid, and so he came out there when he's younger, and he was self-promoted. He was like a when I met him, he was bald headed and he had a little goatee, and he ran for mayor, and he was a professional boxer at one point in his time. He was like this egomaniac, crazy dude. So really crazy. Like had a BMW of flames on the side and side pipes, and his license plate was God and everything. He's a crazy dude, right? So he ran this bar called Someplace Else, and he bought a house, and they put a big brick wall around it, and then the garage he turned in what was called it had a big fire pit. And so in the '70s, this place where they had
So just to bring it back, we're talking about the sex bar, right?
yeah.
Okay. This is the lead up story to the sex bar. Okay.
You know, so it's called Someplace Else. So he put a big fire pit, and in the '70s they'd have naked weddings there and everything. And then they had a garage that he turned into what was called the garage is called the Duty Hut.
Ooh.
Yes, the Duty Hut.
Are you on duty?
And when you went in there, so you go in the Duty Hut, and it's like it had a glass shower, stockades, gynecology chair, had a bunch of the sex toy thing with the thing and all the crazy shit.
This is some BDSM story going on right now.
So anyway, so I was 22. I started working there, 'cause I was going there, and then one time I was working construction. I'm like, fuck, I just want to work at a bar. I was going there all the time, and I asked his wife was working there. I'm like, she goes, of course I'll hire you, because back then I was in the ballet and everything.
Sure.
I got pictures. I got pictures of
Sure.
that. So anyway, so I go to work there. I'm just a busboy. I sell all my construction tools, and I just go work there. I just start busting tables.
You have like a long.
Within 2 weeks, I was the day manager. Right?
Yeah.
Like
So then the duty hat. But then the bar, we had a popcorn machine and a jukebox with no labels, no songs, just numbers. So it was totally random. Swinging glass doors, and like when I was a bouncer at the place, I would just collect all the girls' licenses and let underage people in.
Yeah.
And there would be naked people in there. Like, it was like naked people.
Yeah.
For instance, when I was running the day shift, there were prostitutes about a block away, and they would come in. They'd want to buy. We had drinks that were on pitchers, and they were like a bunch of fruit juice that we would make in the morning, and there was all like 4 kinds of liquor and everything. But the drinks were called butt fucks, cum stains, blow. And we would stir them with big dildos. People would come in like, I want a picture of blowjobs, and I'd put it on the thing, and I'd go like this, and I would take the dildo out, and it's drip, so I'd put it over your mouth. Like, you want to try it first? There was that, and that's what I did for a job, right?
Yeah.
Dude, we made so much money.
I can imagine.
Oh, hell yeah.
Oh my
and you
God.
call that a sex bar?
I don't know, would you?
Well,
and then my favorite thing, we had microphones in the girls' bathroom.
Oh.
It was a college town, so these couple college girls would go in the bathroom, and we'd be like, I would hit I'd kill the jukebox, and I'd turn the microphone on in the girls' bathroom, and we'd hear like, hey, we fucking Brad here, fucking Brad here, little dick motherfucking shit. And it's going through the whole bar, and these guys are like, oh. So I had so much fun working there.
Yeah. So that was like what circa. That was like circa like what 86? You said.
Yes. Pardon me?
That was like circa 86. You said.
No, that was 81.
81. Yeah. So that was like
no laws.
Who at the door?
I wasn't born. Yeah.
Wait, can I
Thank you very much. I'm glad I look so good.
But you did the door.
About the gynecology chair.
Oh,
What happened?
so on Tuesday nights, I'd roll it out, and I'd have an upside down kamikaze night, and you had to get in the gynecology chair and put your head back, and I would pour fucking kamikazes in your head like
penetration.
that. Well, that was when it's in the duty hut. You can do whatever you want in there. You can rent it. We give you the tea, bottle of champagne. We lock the door. You can do whatever you want in there.
Wow. That sounds like a lot of fun.
It was a
maybe I would have gone back to Tucson.
Have you ever been there?
Tucson? Yeah, no, I didn't. My ex-wife was from there.
So the end of the story is, Jimmy, I was an artist, I was printing the t-shirts and everything, and I ended up, rock and rolling that place.
Right.
And then he came over to my studio one day, and he was rubbing his fucking bald head, and he asked me to resign.
Wait, why?
Why?
because I was incorrigible.
Yeah.
And,
Tell us
and he said that he couldn't fire him. He said, I can't fire you because everyone will quit and fucking leave and you'll steal my business. Because
What about the snakes?
would you please quit?
Quit.
So I'm like, okay, you know what? As respect for you, I will, man.
Yeah.
The
And-
tough guys. What about the tough
So
guys?
every morning we had to meet at a hotel that was about 1.5 miles away at 7 o'clock, 6:59. And then we all had our little running shorts and our fucking someplace else t-shirts on. And we had to run through the U of A, and then we'd go to the bar and set it all up for the day. And then we'd run back like advertisement, and then he would we'd give the cop he'd buy breakfast for everybody. And if you didn't make the run at 7 a.m., fuck you, you're not on shift. And
I mean, it's a great marketing strategy.
college,
university.
and then you were
Wait,
a badass team. Because the other thing you had to do was you had a pull-up bar. And so when the shift got there, everyone met out in the back by the duty hut, and there was a pull-up bar, and everybody had to do one set till fail. And even girls, everything. And you know what he made us? He made us like it was like a boot camp. We were badass motherfuckers. We were all making so much money.
What'd you walk with? A night.
600 a night.
Awesome.
And I was
Back in
paying-
81?
I
In
had a-
81, 600 nights?
That was done on campus here. I had an art gallery, rehearsal studio, drum riser, everything, big building like that. 250 a month. So
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Oh, I said.
I mean, I'd probably wheel the gynecology share out for that as well. 600 a night in the 80s? That'd be like
cool haircut.
4 or 5
Shave my
grand
hair.
a night right now.
no, because it was the hair photo, and no
Oh,
one wanted to see my
Yeah,
hair
that's a
photo.
lot of money.
Yeah.
bullet,
Handsome man over here.
bullet time.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
So I'm sorry that I didn't bring
Look
you
at
any
him.
interest.
Oh, Jesus.
Everybody's
At
interesting.
the same time.
Johnny Rotten.
That was you?
I told
That
him I
was
wanted
you?
copper spots and
That
black
was you?
stripes and everything.
Hey, show that picture in the camera.
No,
Oh shit.
Over.
dude. The FBI. Now we're going to get triangulated. There could be a drone strike within 30 seconds.
No. Yeah,
I'm going
Gorgeous.
right. Until we look like we're undercover.
favorite.
That
They're mine.
one.
Take 'em.
Dear.
Normal people.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Here's another. I got another
They
great.
try to save me trouble.
Oh, here's a great hairstyle. Very 80s, right?
Ralph Lauren. I
Okay, I gotta go.
Well, thank you for the stories. What was your name again?
Oh, here we go.
I'm Luke.
I'm
Roger.
Damn, Steve.
Name is
Thanks for the stories. Yeah.
Story.
No.
What about the tough guy who you squirted? Remember that story? You were working at the sex bar,
No, I was.
and then you got to fight. Tell me the
So,
fight.
so I can continue the story because my first customer, the first woman I ever made a drink for, was this
All right.
big woman with big tits and a little fucking white beater on the middle of the day in this bar. She walks in, I'm like, there you go. And she's like, can I get a Bloody Mary? I'm like, okay. I don't know. And then I started making it. I was wearing a tank top. She's like, I own a bar. I want to hire you. I'm like, lady, this is the first drink I ever made in my life. You don't even know me.
My background.
3 years later, when I got asked to resign, I was going around riding my bike in Tucson. I was going to get a lifeguard job or something. And I rolled into her bar, the Bay Horse Tavern, which is a famous college bar. And she goes, what are you doing? I'm like, I used to jerk off in the morning, but now I'm looking for a fucking lifeguard job. She goes, you want to work here? I'm like, okay. She goes, okay, I can't hire you till I put in the security cameras because I know who you are and where you came from. And so I was like, okay. And she goes, what's the deal? And I'm like, I'll work Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. What's your slowest night? She said, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I'm like, I want those 4 nights. No changes. I work those nights. I don't need a waitress. I don't need a security guy. And now I run this fucking place by myself. And what are you doing every night? She goes, between 75 and $100 a night. And I'm like, okay, there you go. And she says, okay, because I know who you are. Over $200, pay your set, take 10%.
Wait,
It's
seriously?
anything over $200 in the drawer, you take this up 10%. No, to
That
me.
means
In my pocket.
bring out your bucks.
In other words, don't steal from me.
Right.
Because you know I'm going to steal from you.
Mm.
420.
So I started. I worked there for 8 years. I got best jukebox 8 years in a row. By the end, I was doing $4,000 nights. So you can do the
Wow.
math on that.
Yeah.
No.
And she was paying me as a janitor. She paid me minimum wage for 20 hours a week.
Nice.
That's why I know Mexico, because I was 24.
And you were in Tucson.
Going to Mexico with a fucking coffee can full of money. And then just go to Puerto Rico or Puerto Vallarta, and the room up in the corner of the hotel I pay for the whole month for only 26 bucks. Anyway, that's the big. So that's how that whole thing. Because she was my first person I made a drink for, and I
Wow.
worked for her for 8 years. I
Sorry.
made her so much money. She bought in two other bars. I'm like, I'm going to San Francisco to do fashion, and she said, "Oh, I'll just give you that bar. Just stay here, you know." I'll just give it to you.
Could I get the story I was after? Remember that guy that tried to beat you up?
Oh, so then at that bar, all the it was a college bar, but all different people came in. And so these guys, when I started working there, I was the first man that ever worked there. It was all tattooed women and shit, like this neighborhood bar. So there was these city workers, these
Sex bar, though.
No, this is the Bay Horse Tavern. It's a regular little neighborhood bar, man. No windows. It was the second oldest bar in Tucson. It had hitching posts out front. It's called
Bar?
the Bay Horse Tavern. So
Your horse.
so these 4 or 5 city workers would come in, these big Mexican dudes, and they're all badass and blah blah blah. And back then I was yoked out, but I had earrings and wear tank top and wear like loafers,
What do you mean?
shorts and shit. I lifted girls in the ballet. Was a bodybuilder.
Like you were like a weightlifter.
I was yoked anyway, and I loved to fight.
Jack.
So, but I walked by and I heard this guy say, "Oh," he said he dropped the F word, Maggie.
Mm.
And this lady was so crazy. Right here where I do dishes, there was a squirt gun, and it was a big penis with balls, and it was a big squirt gun.
Mm.
He was always underneath it. So I walked by her, heard him say that. What's the faggot? So I just walked back there, and there was like 4 of them sitting there. I just reached in and I grabbed this, pulled it out, and I didn't go squirt hard. I just went. So it just went like a little cum shot right in his face. And then I put it down, I started walking away. He threw his fucking beer on me.
Oh.
And then, dude, I was like,
That's fighting words right there.
well, guess what? I grabbed him by the fucking collar so fast and banged his fucking head off the bar. And then I threw them all out. And then they asked her, 'cause they've been going there for 10 years every day.
Right.
What the fuck, this fucking prick? And you know what she told them? I have to hire pricks like that to deal with assholes like you.
Mm. Yeah.
You know what? Anyway, that's the end of my story.
Come on now, you can't even do this. Look.